I'm delighted to welcome Melissa Hillebrenner to Southern California and as our keynote speaker at the luncheon today. This year we've extended an especially warm welcome to our East Coast colleague from the United Nations Foundation.
Good afternoon. I'm so privileged to be here and want to thank the UNA USA Southern California Division for inviting me. As Ginny said, Girl Up is a campaign of the UN Foundation, and it ignites the empowerment of girls by girls. We support the United Nations, and we stand up, speak up, and rise up for girls, especially girls living in the hardest places to reach and the hardest places where it is to be a girl. So I want to just show you a quick video. Obviously you've all seen Janet's beautiful face, but the girls who are benefiting from, the girls who are benefiting from these programs, as well as the girls who are leading the movement. So let me show you that, and then I'll tell you a little bit more. Okay, so as you can see, it's a really beautiful video, and it shows actually the impact of Girl Up over the last 3 years. Girl Up was launched in September of 2010, so in just a couple of weeks we'll be celebrating our 4th birthday. And it's pretty incredible to actually look back over the last 4 years. This was before Malala Yousafzai was shot and became a global icon for girls' education. This was before the girls were kidnapped in Nigeria. This was before the film Girl Rising, which I hope a lot of you have seen. And really in the last 4 years, the awareness and the focus on girls has risen incredibly. There's a groundswell of support. It is the hot development topic, and it sounds weird to say, but it is, which is great for us because we have all kinds of partners that want to work with us now, and all kinds of corporations and foundations that want to focus on girls and women. But when we started in 2010, this wasn't a huge mainstream issue. And the UN Foundation and the Nike Foundation actually have been working together since 1998, early 2000, when the foundation was launched, to do research, to pilot programs, to basically test some theories that girls can be the catalyst to making this world a better place. And I know so many of you know this, but investing in girls is economically smart. It can end poverty. Educating one girl can change the makeup of her family, her future generations, her community, her village, her state, her province, her country, and the world. And that's really what our mission is. And as Ginny mentioned, the way that we do that is by empowering today's youth generation of leaders. They're not the next generation of leaders, they are actually today's leaders. And I can point to Janet, you know, and as an example, this campaign is really capturing the potential and igniting the boundless enthusiasm of youth. And so by getting girls involved in middle school, junior high, high school, to start a club, to bring awareness to their peers, they're becoming global citizens. They're becoming globally minded young people who will grow up and vote. They will grow up and support the UN. They will grow up and give their time, give their money, and be engaged in civil society. And that's the kind of, you know, generation that I want to feel like we've all had something to do with. And so our girls, 400,000 strong, here in the US, but also growing and becoming even more international. We have almost 80 clubs outside of the US of girls who are joining this movement because they all believe in the power of girls being empowered, but being empowered by each other. We have clubs here in Southern California. It's one of our biggest coalitions of clubs, spreading from Ventura all the way down to Orange County. 35-ish clubs strong. Janet, you probably know the numbers better than that. But Southern California has always been a really, really strong base for Girl Up. We launched the campaign here with a pep rally at Marlborough School with Her Majesty Queen Rani of Jordan and many entertainment celebrity faces that you would recognize. We'll be celebrating International Day of the Girl here on October 11th. So Los Angeles and Southern California has really been crucial to the success of Girl Up, and being here today and hearing who's in this room and knowing, having lived in Los Angeles, how diverse this area is. It's really no surprise that maybe even more so than DC and New York, but certainly equal to, Girl Up has such a strong base here. I want to talk a little bit about how we work with the UN. I know that's obviously of utmost interest to this room. We raise funds. So first and foremost, we fund programs. We're not funded by the UN. We actually help bring additional funds to the UN. And the reason that we do that is because then we can make sure that those funds are going to adolescent girl programs. We've currently been funding programs in 4 countries, Ethiopia, Malawi, Liberia, and Guatemala, and we will be adding new countries later this year, early next year, which we're very excited about. All of those programs, the UN is our partner. Multiple UN agencies coming together to implement a program to address comprehensive barriers to education, to economic prosperity. So in a country such as Liberia, where there's real violence, real gender-based violence, real and significant sexual violence issues, we look at education, we look at healthcare, we look at access to health education and sexual and reproductive health education. We look at participation, but we look at violence because that's one of the key issues in Liberia. In Guatemala, it's actually very similar. Violence against women and girls is a huge issue, and early pregnancy is a huge issue, oftentimes due to that violence. So in Guatemala, we're actually starting from a rights education base. When I've been there the last 2 years to visit the program and to visit our UN colleagues, I remember one of the most astounding things that I walked away with was the staff members telling me that they had to explain the word violence. They had to define it. Because the girls and women didn't even know that what was happening to them had a word. They didn't know that it was something that they had a right not to experience. And it's 2014, like this is really mind-boggling, I think, for a lot of us. It certainly was for me. So I think truly everything that we do is from a human rights perspective, and we know that, post 2015 and whatever they call the sustainable development goals, the goals, whatever it is, it's based in that human rights perspective. And I think all of us in this room are coming from that same perspective too. Girl Up specifically has been addressing 2 of the Millennium Development Goals, equal access to primary education, and then also gender equality and empowerment of women. It's been really remarkable to see the progress to access to primary education. The next big goal is really secondary, girls making that transition from primary to secondary. And it's not just access, it's actually learning and the quality of education and well-trained teachers and female teachers and incentives that specifically look at what girls need. And so we are a fundraising, awareness building, advocating, lobbying arm for the UN, but we will use our campaign, our funds that we raise, our corporate partners, our celebrity voices, to really influence the forward movement that we want to continue to see for girls. And I want to encourage all of you to get involved. There are a lot of ways to get involved. If this was a room full of teenagers, I would only talk about that for 15 minutes. But as globally aware, diverse representation, being here in Los Angeles where we have such a great coalition, there's a lot that you can do individually. First and foremost, if there is a young woman in your life, a niece, a daughter, a neighbor, a friend, a mentee, junior high, high school, college, introduce them to Girl Up. I think that one of the amazing things that I've seen of girls just like Janet, who's actually just been now named one of our next members of our teen advisory board, so let's give her a little round of applause. We really do see the girls that are involved in Girl Up grow. They're gaining leadership skills. They're empowered because they're helping others and they're empowering others and they're using their voice. The power of understanding your own voice and that it can make a difference and that it can change the life of another person, I think changes our young leaders. And so I really encourage you, young boys too, for sure. There are boys in Girl Up. It's just a really small percentage. They will be super popular, and you can definitely get them involved with Girl Up if they happen to be a very pro, girls empowerment mindset. I think that would be great. We also do a lot of advocacy with Girl Up. That's part of the process of really understanding the power of a voice, right? You can come from any socioeconomic background. You can be a beneficiary of another program, and there are still people living in this world who frankly have it worse than you. And there are still people living in this world who you can help. And I think that the feeling of empowering and helping someone else when you're benefiting from a service is also very inspiring and transformational. So advocacy is a big part of that. And we have 2 advocacy tasks that you can help us with. We have our Girls Count bill, which is actually in the House. It's gone through markup. It will be going to a floor vote shortly. We also have a Senate version that should be going to markup soon. We're now optimistically looking at November post-election, but we do think that this bill has a chance of passing by the end of the year. And the purpose of the Girls Count bill is birth registration and documentation. You start day 1 of your life and your country does not acknowledge you as a human being. What does that say for you, for your potential, for your value? You may not be able to go to school. You certainly won't be able to own land. You may never get a passport. You may never be able to leave and see the world or live somewhere else. But at the end of the day, do you count? Do you even matter? And so we really want the U.S. government to step up and take a leadership role on influencing countries to prioritize broad and equal birth registration so that the children everywhere in the world have that chance as a human day 1. So you can go to girlup.org. If you click on Take Action, it will take you to a page, and any U.S. citizen can fill out that advocacy alert, and it will trigger a letter to your congressmen and senators, men and women and senators. The other action is the Girl Declaration. Have any of you heard of the Girl Declaration? Okay, a few. So we've been working with the Nike Foundation, Plan, our UN partners, and a whole, about 20 different NGOs on how do we prioritize adolescent girls in the post-2015 process and in the framing of these goals. And there is now a Girl Declaration that was written from the words of about 400 or 500 girls, all from the Global South, who were interviewed about what they want for their lives. If you go to girleffect.org, which is Nike's website and our partner, you can click on the Girl Declaration, you can read all about it, and you can add your name. Girl Up will be taking this on very heavily in 2015 and really trying to push U.S. leadership on this issue and try to influence however we can in making sure the girls are represented in the next set of goals. I want to actually close by reading the Girl Declaration to you because I think it's really, really powerful. Before I do that, I would not be doing my job if I did not tell you that another way that you can support the campaign is to donate. All of our funds go to our UN programs and also to helping us maintain this campaign where we're building the next round of global leaders. We have International Day of the Girl coming up on October 11th. That's a great time to take an action, talk to a girl, make a donation, really feel a part of this day. It's the third day, it's the third annual day, so we're still building a lot of momentum. And with that, let me read you the Girl Declaration. Imagine that this is coming from 400 or 500 voices of girls in high school and junior high, in Southeast Asia, in Africa, and Central America. I was not put on this earth to be invisible. I was not born to be denied. I was not given life only to belong to someone else. I belong to me. I have a voice and I will use it. I have dreams unforgettable. I have a name and it is not anonymous, or insignificant, or unworthy, or waiting anymore to be called. Someday the world will say this was the moment when the world woke up to my potential. This is the moment I was allowed to be astonishing. This is the moment when my rising no longer scares you. This is the moment when being a girl became my strength, my sanctuary, not my pain. This is the moment when the world sees that I am held back by every problem and I am a key to all solutions. This is the moment when a girl and a girl and a girl and 250 million other girls say, with voices loud, that this is our moment. This is my moment. Yes, this is the moment. Thank you so much. I'm happy to answer a few questions or if people want to comment on anything that I've said.
I have a grandniece, 12 years old. She's more like 30. I would like to get her involved internationally. She's way ahead of her age range. How young will you take membership?
So that's a really great question, and it's not actually membership, so anyone can join the movement by giving their email address, following us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. For our clubs, we do have clubs as young as middle school, so really even 10. I think as girls get in that 12, 13, 14-year-old range, they just have a maturity on the issues and sort of an understanding of a little bit of the unfairness of, that lottery of sort of where you've been born. But at 12 years old, she should absolutely get a Girl Up Club started.
I would just like to say that as a African American female, I broke many glass ceilings, and I broke the one in the California State Senate as the first African American woman.
Great, thank you. Is there any other particular questions back in the back corner? Okay, great.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi,
My name's
Kristen.
Kristen. I work at the United Nations Foundation, and I just wanted to say how amazing she is, and also to just also let people know that they have recently launched a fantastic app for advocacy. And if any of your young people in your life are interested, it's fantastic. It's a great resource. They've really done a great job with it. So even if you're the average layperson and you don't feel like you know how to get involved, it makes it really easy.
And it's called Girl Up Advocate. You can get it on iTunes or Android stores. It allows you to tweet at your member of Congress. You can look up who your congressional representative is, see whether they have co-sponsored the bills in both the House and Senate, and also see their past history on issues such as Violence Against Women Act, child marriage, and other issue areas that are within our mission.
Hi, I'm just a guest here with my daughter. She's 18. She's Melissa also. And we were so impressed. I just know she was impressed with your presentation, and we're definitely going to join and do whatever we can. And we have a television show that's going to be a reality show based on our life, and we'd definitely like to include you.
Great, let's get after it. Thank you so much.
What is the website, and also to a 12-year-old, do they form a group with their own friends and
Yeah, I
submit
can
that?
tell a little bit more about the club.
Do schools initiate those? Do you
Great.
say a little more about
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. So it's girlup.org. And if you do have young women or young men in your lives who you think should have a club and should start a club, there's actually across the top bar of the website a big colorful club tab. And you can click on that and basically sign up right there. It's really girl-led. So almost all of our clubs are initiated by girls themselves. We ask that they have 5 girls and that there's an adult somewhere kind of very far in the background paying attention. Mostly the adult advisors help with negotiating school issues or helping with meeting space or event details, but we communicate directly with the girls. So if, for example, Diane, if your niece has 5 friends and an adult either at the school or an after-school organization, a religious organization, we have some groups that meet at a house because it's just too difficult to get the club going in their school. They can just fill out a form on the website, get signed up. They'll join our online community, which is truly where our club program has blossomed because the girls create a profile within a secure club community. They can talk to other clubs. They can see pictures from what other clubs have done. All of the resources are online, toolkits and newsletters and suggestions. We also have a really wonderful leader guide that we send out to each club as they're registered that is basically a workbook for Girl Up. But it isn't a curriculum. It isn't a required set of activities. What we want these girls to do is come together and decide what kind of impact they want to make. So all we require is that they do something and that they tell us about it and give us some pictures because we like to put those on social media. And to really measure what it is that they've done. But this may be a club who takes on advocacy and wants to have a youth board for their congressperson or for their mayor's office or something like that. Or this might be a club that says we're going to try to raise $5,000 this year. And so their whole effort is around bake sales and mother-daughter teas and all of these things. Or there might be another club. We had a club here in East LA. I think it was Glenn Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. They're one of our largest clubs in the country, 65, 75 members. And they put on a full school assembly to take all of the students through stations of what it was like to live in these countries as an adolescent girl, and they put that on for their school. So there's a really wide variety of activities, but we have toolkits and resources for all of those, and the girls themselves get to decide what they do.
Great. Is there one more last burning question? Great. Over here.
Hi, my name is Serena Santoni. I'm here representing the UN Association San Diego chapter. First of all, we are very happy to be here. Thank you for hosting this. and you are very inspiring. I, along with my colleague, Dr. John Barambio, are the co-chairs of the Global Classroom.
Okay.
So one of our workshops that I have done in the past, and we will do more of, is called To Be a Girl. We work with adolescent groups, primarily Girl Scouts, and then groups of junior high, and we will be including more high school groups of young girls. So I just want to let you know that I'm definitely going to be including Girl Up into the curriculum and the workshop, and support you any way we can in San Diego.
And let us send you some of our resources to help you with that. And we do have clubs in San Diego. They're not technically part of, is that right, Janet? San Diego don't really come up for SoCal? Okay. But there are clubs down there which we can also, well, we can also connect you with them so we can strengthen the San Diego presence and build a coalition there.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Judith, our president, and myself, we'd like to, the other representatives, we'd like to present you with a little certificate of appreciation. Thank you for coming all the way out to the West Coast. The left coast, as they say.
Any chance I get to visit.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.